Our final storyteller tonight is Bekah Miles. Being diagnosed with depression was the last thing Bekah wanted to hear. She was in the middle of her undergraduate degree when it became hard to cope with life. Depression had been something she struggled with since early adolescence, but those feelings she experienced became her new normal. When she heard the diagnosis, she began her journey to uncover who she really was under the facade of someone who held it all together. After lots of thought and fear of judgment, she decided to take a leap of faith and open up about her depression over social media via a picture of her fresh tattoo paired with a powerful message. Her only wish was to reach one person struggling like she was. But she soon found that her words resonated with millions of people around the world. And with that one Facebook post, she started a global conversation. Welcome, Bekah.
Hello. My name is Bekah Miles, and I want to tell you a story. I was a sophomore in college when I hit my rock bottom. I struggled with daily tasks like getting out of bed, showering, or even eating. It was extremely difficult just to get myself to class every day, if I even went at all. I just wanted to walk into traffic, and I didn't care if I lived or died. However, I was lucky enough to be living with my best friend at that time, and she helped me go to our university's health and counseling center, and I am so grateful to have had the availability of those resources. November of 2014, that same sophomore year, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. I had a difficult time accepting this as my reality because I was going to school for psychology. I wanted to help people, like me. But how was I supposed to help others when I couldn't even help myself? I started weekly therapy, but I was really resistant. All my life, I felt like I had to do things on my own with help from no one, because I felt that I had to do that a lot for myself while growing up. I thought I could just dig myself out of this hole of sadness that I was stuck in. I didn't want anyone's help. I went months and months with no improvement. I felt like I was only coasting through my life and not actually living it. The following January, I stopped going to therapy because it wasn't helping anyway. To no surprise, I still didn't feel any better. Thankfully, that spring semester, I had a class with a professor who opened up about their own struggles with depression and how it had been a battle for years. That person was someone that so many people looked up to, myself included. She always appeared peppy, energetic, and was tons of fun. Not someone you would imagine if you heard the word depression. I thought, if she could openly share her story to a class full of students, complete strangers, maybe opening up about my own struggles to one person wasn't so bad. I decided to meet with this professor, and she helped me take the steps I needed to get back into therapy and start some medication, and I began my journey into feeling better. After several weeks of adjusting to new meds and countless sessions in therapy where I struggled to open up because it made me so emotional, I finally began to see a little bit of light back in my life. In therapy and in my own studies as a psychology major, I came to realize that I had been struggling with depression and anxiety for longer than I had originally thought. I was finally able to pinpoint when it all started, grade school and into middle school. Because I was experiencing these things from a young age, I thought what I was feeling my whole life was just normal. It turns out, people actually enjoy living each day. That summer, 2015, I decided that I wanted a tattoo, but I really wanted it to mean something to me. I decided on a design that represented my journey with mental health and depression. I found a design that captured my depression perfectly. An ambigram. An ambigram reads something from one direction, but when flipped upside down, it reads something, whether it's the same or a completely different word or phrase. The design that I found reads, "I'm fine," one direction, And the other side reads, "Save me." To me, it spoke the truth. "I'm fine" was always the response I defaulted to whenever someone asked me how I was doing. Except I actually knew there was more going on, that I was struggling to keep my head above the water. This design represented the facade I put forth all the time. The night I got my tattoo, I decided to snap a couple pictures of it, one from each angle. I sat down and wrote what depression looked like in my life. I paired my words and the picture that captured my mental health, then posted it to Facebook with hardly a second thought. I decided to share my tattoo with my friends and family with the hope that just one person could find help in it, much like my professor did for me. This is part of what I wrote. To me, depression is the days that I feel sad for no reason. Depression is the mornings that I don't feel capable of getting out of bed. Depression is the sleeping too much or sleeping too little. Depression is the homework that I never completed, simply because I didn't feel like I was capable. Depression is the breakdowns I have over absolutely nothing. Depression is the eating too much or eating too little. Depression is the nights I begin to cry because I feel so overwhelmed, even though everything is going right. Depression is the 50 pounds I carry in my chest at all times. Depression is the need to constantly be distracted, whether that's being on social media, playing video games, watching movies or show, or working all the time, because I can't trust myself with my thoughts for longer than 3 minutes. Depression is the friendships that have suffered because of my inability to function. Depression is the hurtful thoughts and actions I have towards myself. Depression is the tears I have because I don't know why I feel so worthless when I know I should feel happy. What followed was beyond anything I could have ever imagined. I had so many friends and family commenting and sharing their own stories and thanking me for talking about such a difficult topic. But then the post started getting shares and then more shares. Soon enough, it was people I didn't even know. By midweek, it went international. I had people from all over the world commenting and messaging me, sharing their own stories, and so many people saying that they never knew the words to describe how they were feeling, but that I had captured it. In just 4 months, my post reached over 24 million views. Now the post currently has over 450,000 likes and over 350,000 shares. And that does not include the countless articles that have been made and shared about the post. You Google my name, pages. It's insane. That's what I have dedicated my life to. I want to share my story to all who will listen, because not reaching out or seeking help that is needed can be lethal. ASHA International aims to give mental health a face and a voice. That is why I'm standing up here tonight, opening up, being transparent, vulnerable in many eyes. It changed not only my life, but so many others. I challenge all of you to open your eyes and ears to those around you. I found strength in my vulnerability. I saw bravery in the hundreds of thousands of people sharing their own battles. I saw people transform their lives, all because one person opened up. Can you imagine the impact if we all did? Thank you.
Thank you, Bekah. Bekah is the recipient of ASHA International's 2016 Hopebringer Award and a member of the ASHA Storytellers team. As Bekah's story demonstrates to all of us, one person's story can touch and transform the lives of millions of people. Can you imagine the collective impact we could all have if every single person, every man, woman, and child that is struggling with a mental health condition were to stand up and share their struggle and their strength? Can you just imagine the impact we could have?